So you're saying if I fall down a rabbit hole because of the links that you put up for researching this episode, I'm to call it a Pikachu hole? That's wholly inappropriate. Think of the bunnies. Hi there! How are you doing? It's time once again for the Golden Age of DC Comics 365 Days, where I take this beloved hardcover coffee table book given to me about 2 decades ago by one of my best friends. This has been surfing my coffee table ever since and has been a constant source of comic book shop style conversations, the type I wish to recreate here with you right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're using this book for its intended purpose. It's a 365 days book. We're going to open up to today's date, which is November the 4th. El Cuatro Novembre. I usually save that for the 8th, like the El Ocho. But, I felt a little inspired, And it's November 4th. We're going to open up to today's date, November the 4th. We are going to look at some comic book art of an antediluvian age. We're going to read the blurb, and then we're going to talk about comic books. And we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. This is a 2004 Abrams publication, written and curated by Chip Kidd, Geoff Spear, and Les Daniels. It's a really nice and interesting hardcover coffee table book. Usually this is the literal perspective and size of a comic book right here. And so we're offered on its side. So it's not actual pages of comic books. There's zooms, like zoom ups of photographs taken. So they target specific panels or aspects of a cover or an advertisement. So it's not just a reprint of a page. It's a thought, and it's a curated thought. And I these are curated thoughts, and I'm happy to use this as my inspiration for some comic book content. We've been doing this every day all year. I want to pimp this book. There is a link in the description to the Amazon page if you want your own copy. It will look great on your coffee table and makes a great gift for a geek. I know. The Golden Age of DC Comics runs between when? What? Hello, Pika, Drinka? 1938 and 1955. The Silver Age from 1956 until 1970. The Bronze Age is between 1970 and 1975, and the Copper Age begins in 1985. I swear on this book, this stack of funny book stuff that I'm going to put under your nose. I get these definitions and standards from the glossary of the most current edition of the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide. Excellent place to start these conversations about the ages, especially like what age are we in right now? We're going to cover something today that almost defines the start of the Copper Age. And we've been in, so the Copper Age apparently ends in 1993, and we've been in some current age since then for 30 years. I don't think so. No, thank you. I think that there's a better definition. I think I want to be part of this conversation and contribute to this. I also will suggest these two books. Comic books, we're usually on the outside looking into them. We're looking at sequential art. We're looking at two sequential panels together. That tells a story. That's 3 panels. That's 4 panels. Now we're going to add some narrative caption to it. Now we're going to add some actual dialogue to it. Now we're going to add some inner thoughts to it. Wow. And where do I get? I got this. It's Understanding Comics, which taught me. Where did I get this idea about sequential art? From this book. This is about the art of comic books and about storytelling, and it's a crash course in art history. I also like this book here, How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. This shows about form, and my favorite is perspective, something that we all need these days. All of us, yes, and we know by looking at all this good art all these years, we know when there's bad art and when there's bad perspective, huh? Yeah, ha, 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 ha. Let's get to it. Let's open this book up. And I hope you are clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them. Let's get to this. Oh, hello, Abba Hubba. Meow. I'm allergic to cats. But, I mean, geez, this is a great kind of personal allegory for me. What if I fell in love with a woman who loves cats? And I'm an asthmatic. And I'm allergic to cats. Well, what about Batman and the love of his life? Who's basically a jewel thief. But he's allergic to criminals. Yes! Today's about Catwoman. This is November the 4th. Story by Bill Finger. Pencils and inks by Charles Paris. This is from Batman, issue number 42, September of 1947. Later, the lair of the Catwoman. Dun dun dun. Golden Age, Selina Kyle. Va-va-voom. The extra mile. I just made that up, huh? Yes, Hecate, the famous felines of fiction, will form my new crime pattern. Is that more? I had a cat for years. Seriously, we broke up. She took the cat with her. I stopped going to the ER with asthma attacks. It was that simple. Cui bono. It was always that simple. It was, let's read this. Lounging at her leisure, a kitty by her side, Catwoman contemplates her new crime pattern. Veteran villains in the Batman series tended to be obsessive-compulsive, more interested in stunts, grandstanding, or just bothering Batman than any profits their crimes might produce. Fair enough. Huh? The improbable plan unfolding here involves putting kittens up a tree so the police will rescue them, thus leaving a jewelry store unguarded and ripe for robbery. What's most unusual about this story is that all the artwork was provided by Charles Paris, who was best known for working only as an inker, most frequently in collaboration with penciler Dick Sprang. Let's look at this art once again. And then we're going to look at a little bit more art from a later age, from something more recent, with these same characters. All right? Catwoman, just to let you know, real quick, from the wiki, that's my red letter media. She debuted as the Cat in Batman issue number 1, spring of 1940. So this character, Selina Kyle, our friend, a fully formed fictional person, is 82 years old as of the production of this video. And she is one of Batman's most enduring characters in the family, of his rivals, of his villains, of his rogues, and now, and over time, the love of his life. And on Earth 2, his wife and mother of Helena Wayne. And I like to say that when we're inspecting this book, that Batman and this Catwoman, they got married and had a child, a daughter, Helena. Yes, and all this becomes Earth 2. And that's just, continuity. That's storybook, that's our funny book continuity. But I wanted to be cute. I wanted to, this is where the rabbit hole, the Pika hole comes from. So doing research for the show today, Pikachu laid at my feet a bunch of funny books for my spinner rack. So we've been doing a series on Slow News Days called Tales from My Spinner Rack. Rack. That's Arena chant, Arena echo, So I was thinking of out of my long boxes downstairs, on my spinner rack, what is my favorite Catwoman moment that I own in my funny books, in my collection? And I came to it too. And it's odd, but I want to talk about the art for a second too, because and then we're going to have a preview and a primer on what we're going to call DK week. It's going to probably be more than a week, less than a week. We wanted to sound cute here. The guys in marketing told programming, hey, it will sell better with the stay-at-home moms and the and the late night vampires. It's called The Dark Knight Returns: The Last Crusade. This is written by Frank Miller, Brian Azzarello, drawn by John Romita Jr. And this is where the wonderful part of the art comes in. It is it's inked and colored by Peter Steigerwald, and we're going to talk about that real quick. But first, we got to talk about The Dark Knight Returns. I was about 13, going on 14. I would go to the comic book store every week. I spent a lot of time at my grandparents' house on weekends. It was nice because my mom was able to, live life, and do things. So, and I loved my grandparents. Who didn't? I heard a TV personality once say, "You're never old enough. You're never too old to miss your grandparents." I thought that was charming. This is called The Dark Knight Returns. Remember? And this is how it looked. This is book 4 of 4. And this is how it looked when it originally came out. All right? Hello. This was also colored by Lynn Varney, Frank's ex-wife. I got to meet Frank. This is book 4. This went for $2.95. Wow. $2.90. What was it? Let's look at that again. $2.95. We're going to call this February of 1986. No, let's call that November. $7.93. Okay, there are no ads on this. This is on heavier paper, and there was nothing else in the world like this. This is part of the reason, along with Crisis on Infinite Earths, perhaps also contributing to it, Marvel's superheroes Secret Wars ended the Bronze Age, and we began the Copper Age, and this was a big part of it. And Watchmen as well. I got a copy of Watchmen around here that we were talking about earlier, about coloring and nostalgia. And I know this has been re-released and recolored too, I believe, but this is the same. Okay, look at the back. All right, so it follows. It's still following its traditional release, and so this is a standalone. All right, and Frank Miller has actually spun this into a huge. This was $6.99 in 2016. Yeah, and this is about the death of Jason Todd. Yeah, and this is so we're going back to what about Catwoman, Sully? You're talking about Catwoman. Okay, but before we talk about Catwoman, okay, we're going to look at some comic book art of a modern age, and we're going to talk about it. This is John Romita Jr.'s pencils. John Romita Jr. has been doing this for a long time. I'm a longtime fan. Early Amazing Spider-Man in the early 80s. Uncanny X-Men before issue 200 with Chris Claremont. I mean, I love Amazing Spider-Man with J. Michael Straczynski in the 2000s. Then he did something called Kick-Ass with Mark Millar, and I felt his art kind of changed a bit. So this is more of the modern look of J.R. Jr.'s art. But let me tell you, it's not just the inker, it's the colorist. This is Peter Steigerwald, because everything is about darkness. So everything ultimately, in my humble opinion, becomes about light value and light source. And just this is just so well done. And so here's my favorite Selina panel, and it's a morning after panel. Pick a side, silly. Like, how did you do it, Selina? You know what I mean? How did you give it up? And there's just like that one panel right down there, which is just, I can help with that. I mean, I just, I really like that. Now, I know she's offering him pills for the literal pain that he's in. He just got his ass kicked by Killer Croc. He's about to get his ass kicked again. He shouldn't have gone out, and he was already hurt. And he got more hurt. All right? And then after that, he's like, He's like, I can't go out tonight. But Jason goes out, and he gets killed. This is about Jason getting killed. So this was a 2016 kind of flashback. But that's my, we're talking about Catwoman, and that is my favorite Catwoman panel. And you're going back, you need a board, buddy. But yeah, this is, we're going to be talking a bit about Dark Knight this week then, because why not? Because I got basically everything Dark Knight. I got a newer printing of the book. I'm not sure if this was recolored or not. But yeah, there's a new introduction in here. I don't think I've even read that. Just look, there's the Jimmy Olsen. He's got to be writing for the Daily Planet now. Yeah, Jimmy Olsen writes for the Daily Planet now. And yes, this is just so good, isn't it? Yeah, and so I got all of them. I never stopped. He never stopped producing them. I asked him when I was at Fan Expo Boston. I was like, I bought them all. I love them. Is there anything more coming out? And he gave me a kind of like a mischievous, winky kind of like, let's see. I think so. Let's see is better than absolutely not. He had All-Star Batman with Jim Lee back in the day. The unfinished masterpiece. We'll get to this, but this is basically the same Batman as this. This is like the year one. You fired a dick. I mean, speaking of, we've got Dark Knight 2. This came out in 2001, 2002. These were $7.95 a piece. Let's look at that real quick. 2002. 2002. These were $7.95 a piece. Yeah. These would be $13.02 an issue today. No ads. Extra, pretty thick. Look at that spine. You know what I mean? But this is from 2001. This is from about 2014 or so. It's 2014. Yeah. Let me look that up real quick. Yeah, 2015 to 2017. And this is called DK3, The Master Race. And this actually reconciles, we'll get to it too, Batman and Superman's broken relationship from the famous fight. The thing we always think of about the adversarial Batman. No, it brings them back to form, to friends, to world's finest. Love it. Like, what if the Kandorians got unshrunk? What would they do? They'd probably take over the earth. You know what I mean? Act like gods. And then this was the last one to come out. And this was from $5.99. Literally, see, follows the same thing, man. And we'll get to it when we get to it. This is art by Raphael Grampa, and this was $5.99, and this was Black Label. So this is what replaced, and that's the modern logo. And yeah, we're gonna just like touch base with all of these, because it's a slow news week, and I want to be prepared for it. So thank you so much for your Pika hole. That didn't sound quite right. Oh no, we're gonna get canceled. Oh, the K-pop people will be after us. What? You're Japanese? I'm being culturally insensitive. Oh no! Oh, save me, Elon Musk. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope that that you like the show. Like and subscribe if so. I would love to earn your subscription. We talk about comic books, and we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we'll find out who we're talking about when we turn the page tomorrow. Thank you so very much. Like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. We make regular content here about cooking, spirituality, purpose, gratitude, planets in the early morning sky, and bunnies eating their breakfast. It's so cute. I make soup videos. The Sultan of Soup says so. And I make daily content, such as this very comic book show, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, daily. Tune in. It's a great way to learn how to tell time. Cheers. Have a great day. God bless. Good luck. We will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye.